Adding to his string of contentious decisions, U.S. President Donald Trump has issued a memorandum targeting lawyers and law firms he deems responsible for the filing of frivolous lawsuits against his administration. Now, the directive, which escalates his ongoing legal battles, authorizes Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security to sanction these firms, potentially revoking security clearances or terminating federal contracts. This unprecedented step is being seen by critics as an authoritarian attack on the legal profession with accusations of hypocrisy. Trump's own lawyers have previously faced sanctions for making false legal claims, including those related to the 2020 election. Legal experts warn the move could, in fact, chill dissent, silencing very institutions that hold the administration accountable in the court. Meanwhile, critics argue this could undermine the judicial system, replacing impartial justice with a tool for political retribution. As the fallout intensifies, many are questioning whether this marks a dangerous turn towards autocracy. With this legal opposition now facing unprecedented scrutiny, Trump's latest memorandum could reshape the balance of power in American courts. Let's discuss this further. Professor Andrew Latham, author and professor of political sciences at the Macalester College, York University, United States of America, is joining us at this moment. Irina Tsukerman, the international immigration and national security lawyer, is also with us. Thank you to both of you for joining me at this moment. Professor Latham, let me start by asking you this. All this criticism that, every single day there are steps being taken by the Trump administration, which is taking America towards the authoritarian route. This only adds to that. But the fact remains that so far the administration has been absolutely unfazed by these criticisms.
Well, it has. There are two ways of looking at what the Trump administration is up to. On the one hand, there is the drift toward authoritarianism. More than a drift, it's a deliberate push in the direction of authoritarianism. And I find that to be partly persuasive. There's another way of looking at it, though, which is that, and Chief Justice Roberts is implicated in this as well, it's really about getting back to constitutional basics and reestablishing a division of powers and doing away with a bunch of quasi-legislative, quasi-judicial, quasi-executive, basically autonomous organizations within and adjacent to the government. So it depends, where you stand on this depends on where you sit. I'm a kind of 50-50 person on this. I welcome the return to the founders' original vision of a strict separation of powers. But Trump is the clumsiest politician on the face of maybe not the clumsiest on the face of the earth, but one of the clumsiest in American history. And he's making this at least appear very malign. And the appearances are not deceptive. It is partly malign.
Let me bring you in on this, because the kind of criticism that we are looking at towards the legal community, from the president's office, what are the worries, that possibly can take place, or how a lot of lawyers, those who are in fact filing cases against the Trump administration, do they feel that they could be in fact targeted?
Absolutely, and thank you so much for asking this question. The incident with Paul Weiss has been an extreme example of the sort of executive pressure that can be put on a law firm that does not follow the official administrative policy. It's very concerning. Of course, the White House and any administration is no stranger to litigation from its opponents. And right up until now, the usual back and forth between lawyers doing their job and administrations pushing back has been fairly par for the course matter. But targeting law firms over their choice of clients is a new direction in the exercise of executive power, and there is significant concern about the use of quid pro quos to deprive clients opposed to the administration's policy of their legal right to counsel. In other words, it's a political and legal strategy to conflict law firms out and make sure that they're simply not available to represent anyone that the Trump administration disagrees with. The Paul Weiss example is of an apparent quid pro quo, where the Paul Weiss head of the firm sent out an email saying that if they did not provide the money demanded by the administration, they would not survive, is concerning because that actually crosses the line into a sort of legal racket to some extent.
All right. Thank you, Irina, for speaking to us at this moment.